Hello everybody, got a little bit of a different video for you guys. So if there's one thing that a lot of card gamers really love is blinging out their decks. And obviously WIXOSS players are no exception to that. We've got all kinds of diva rares, special rares, that kind of thing that we can do that with. But there are certain ways you could do that WIXOSS has a little bit different from other more traditional card games. Basically what I'm getting at here is that the official rules for the level zeros that you use are basically you can kind of use whatever you want as long as it's very obvious to your opponent what you're using. Obviously that has gone into, there are customs. Lucky Yuki obviously is one that the English community is very well familiar with. But another thing you can do is you can go to the Japan side of things and actually get access to some of the official level zeros that have been released in Japan. And even though the Japanese cards are not technically legal in English, you can still use those level zeros basically as a quote-unquote proxy, LRIG, and just do it that way. And of course, with Welcome Back Diva and the future sets coming out, I figured this would be kind of the perfect time to go over the process of doing that, kind of give you an idea for the kind of cards that may be out there if you're not familiar with it, and maybe give you some inspiration to help bling out your decks if you're going to be using some of the older LRIGs as they come out. So first things first, after I had filmed the computer portion of this video, this is sort of an intro recap, they did announce that these sleeping LRIGs are going to be coming to English. They will be box toppers. Hopefully you can get them when you make your order. So these should be actually a lot easier to get than I was anticipating. I didn't spend a whole lot for these, and obviously the sleeping promos are just great in general. The foiling is not, it's sort of very speckled. I wasn't expecting it to be that intense. But these were characters that I liked. Obviously Iona and Sash are probably two of my favorites, so I was happy to get those. But these should be a lot easier to get. I don't know the pricing as it will sell in English, but just keep in mind that those will be coming soon as well. I just grabbed a lot of these, obviously the Chibi Carnival. I like Carnival with the mask on personally, so it was nice to have that one, and then just some of these as well. These also had a very nice foiling treatment that I wasn't really expecting on these as well. Some of these are special promos. This is a Halloween Midoriko. Again, really cool foiling process with that. This is a super sexy Carnival that we probably will never see English side. This one's not foil, but this is actually an official card. There's a set of these that have this really kind of seductive, almost NSFW type of artwork for them. So I just went with the Carnival one. This one, actually, I was really surprised at the foiling on this one. You can see the Lost Storage in the background as well. This is foiled almost like a secret rare or even a diva rare for the Carnival. Little congratulations one as well. And then, of course, Christmas Carnival for the upcoming holiday season. So there's a bunch of different options for that as well. And then, of course, my favorite are these tarot cards. They're sort of styled like, actual tarot cards, and they have names like the High Priestess for Anne. We'll just look at this one a little bit. The foiling is very detailed on it. It's very bright. The colors of the artwork is very bright. So these are just extremely high quality. Midoriko is strength. So I was very happy to get these at a pretty reasonable price. These have been on my radar since I first heard about them, which was many, many years ago. Of course, Iona is the tower. Again, the foiling, it's hard to tell on camera. I'm trying to give you as good of a look at these as I can. But, I mean, these are just incredible. These were included as secret rares in several of the packs. I don't know exactly how many sets it had them, but it was somewhat early on in the game's lifespan. I think it was before the Lost Storage, the key format, like basically the first run of the set, because I don't think Carnival even has one in the tarot side as well. So just to give you an idea, a lot of these were pretty reasonable. Obviously, the cards have all come in pretty good condition, straight from Japan. And I will walk you through basically the process I did to get some of these, and hopefully you can use that as inspiration and maybe use that to bling out your deck as well. Again, some of these are some fan favorite LRIGs, so at least for me, I will be very much looking forward to using some of these in the future as well. So stick around. I'll walk you through the process, and hopefully that'll give you some ideas for ways to bling out your own level zeros. So the simplest and most straightforward way to import WIXOSS Japanese singles into the United States, or really anywhere, is TCG Republic. They ship worldwide, as far as I understand, and there's a bunch of different card games here, basically all the big popular ones, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, actually. But they do have WIXOSS, and again, these are all of the WIXOSS sets that currently exist in Japan. You can see some of the popular cards that are being sold. I believe these are default sorted by price. A lot of these, as you can see, are the question mark rarities, the extra, super, ultra rare, the sleeping, that you can pull out of packs. Some of these are like the Shigeru promos and stuff like that. You do also have the ability to kind of filter by different sets. So if there's a specific set you're looking for, you can do that as well. Some of these, I think the others have. These may be some of the DVD box sets. I do recommend, just generally as you're doing these searches, to be in Chrome, because Chrome by default has really good automatic language translations. So you can use that. You'll see, especially in some of the other sites when we get to them, how important that will be later on. You can type, search by Larig. You can search different sets. Some of these, I think some of these are promo packs that they. So let me just find. What's the WIXOSS Fun Pack? I don't know really. I'm not super familiar with a lot of these cards, unfortunately. So I'm trying to find some of the ones that I was looking at the other day. This is from the selector point system. Some of the promo cards. The Sosagetsune, Arquin. These actually in the Baphomet too. Came to English, interestingly enough. Deck series. These are the first sets that came out. Where were... Or maybe it's just under promotional cards. I think I was looking right in front of me. So again, these are, by default, they're sorted by price. So a lot of these, again, the Shigeru foil. But as you scroll down, some of these, the Odd promo is something we had. But you can look and see there's Sleeping Elrigs here that are always great. You can kind of just keep going and browse. If there's something you want to search for, so obviously I'm a big fan of Iona, so you can just type in Iona and you can see these are some of the super secret rares. I think that one also is. Unfortunately, these, again, they have the other cards, so this is like the level 4, I think. Oh, that's a level 3 Iona. But here's a Sleeping promo Iona, which is currently selling for $18. So just in general, TCG Republic, it's actually out of stock. I've noticed some of the stock issues are like not 100%, because this looked like it wasn't stock and then you clicked on it. So here's the Iona Tarot card. I looked here the other day and it was not in stock, so I'm assuming, yeah. So even though it said it was in stock, there's a weird stocking issues that come with this. Generally speaking, with TCG Republic, it works the way that any traditional e-commerce site would. So it's really good, really good. It's convenient. It ships to the United States, like I said. It ships worldwide, so you don't have to worry about that. The one thing I will say is that their prices tend to be much higher than the other sites, but which is good and bad. It's good because a lot of the stuff is actually in stock. Their stock seems to be much higher just because their prices tend to be higher. But again, you are potentially paying more than you need to pay. So here's a Yuki. This is the white Iona, if you're familiar with the storyline, what happens with that. So you can just buy it right now, add to cart, go from there. I have a couple of saved searches for specific things I'm looking for. So this is the Japanese for it. There's some clever ways you can do it. So this is basically all the Sleeping Elrig promos. So you can see them all here. I usually refresh this maybe once a day, just to see if anything new has come in, just to look at it. Because I do have some of these actually coming in. This is an order I placed that's on the way. It may be in by the time I actually publish this video. I'm hoping to actually have this in, and you can see what some of these kind of look like. So I may have to... Okay, it doesn't have... I was looking to see if it had any information on that or whatever. But anyway, it's a nice way. The other thing, too, that it can really help you look for what it can help you find what you're looking for, I guess is what I'm saying. So this I mean, this is all in Japanese. I can't read what any of this stuff is, but usually what I do, especially if there's parentheses in there, like this is the, I forget the name of the set, but it's basically like a bunch of these promos, these sleeping promos were in the same set, so you can grab a few of these kanji, copy it, and then paste it in a search. And we'll see how that kind of goes in some of the later stuff. So, again, if you're not sure what's out there is another good way. You can just kind of search through the promos. If you can search by character, like I said, and find some good stuff just to see what types of things are out there. Because this looks like a promo. Oh, I think that's a Tama. I don't know what that is. Just to see what's out there, because there's a lot of things that like I wasn't really sure that existed until you kind of look through and see if something hits your fancy. Like here's a Tama Ulith promo, here's a Hanayo and Yuzuki promo, which is pretty nice. I think these are both level 0s. It's hard to tell from the glare, but I'm sure they're both level 0s. So, but anyway, it's just a good place to kind of get started, get your feet wet, and see what it is. And if you do find something you like and you don't mind paying a little bit extra, it's a good place to just go ahead and do that. Outside of TCG Republic, the main way you're going to be able to get cards from Japan is through a proxy service. Now, I use Buyee. I've used them in the past several times. They've always worked out really nicely. So basically, the way that a proxy service works is a company like Buyee will, wherever the item is being sold, they will buy it on your behalf. The item will ship to their warehouses. And then from there, you will pay the shipping to Buyee to have it shipped from their warehouses to wherever you live around the world. Again, this is my understanding, is that Buyee actually works worldwide, so you don't have to be in the United States to do this kind of thing. There's a number of stores that Buyee actually is integrated with natively that you can just use. You can kind of browse through their front end here and just kind of look at them. So I've noticed the most success with Yahoo Japan Auction, personally, just because of the other stuff. I think is a lot of like fashion stuff, electronics. Like most of these are not card game related at all. But Yahoo Japan Auction is kind of similar to like an eBay, where people can just put stuff up there, and you can basically bid on it and that sort of thing. So I actually have a saved search for, again, all I did is type in WIXOSS TR because I love the tarot promos. There's a lot of them that I want to get my hands on. So I keep this open, check it maybe every day, every other day type of thing. So some of these are still alive. You can see the time remaining. You actually see the price both in yen and in US dollars. A lot of these, I think the bio price is just the same as the bidding price. But you can see the prices on these are pretty, at least similar or a lot cheaper in some cases to what you'd see. I actually kept this, the TCG Republic prices, just for the sake of comparison. So they really kind of, based on the popularity / rarity of these, like the Tama is obviously very expensive. Tama is a very well beloved character, but some of these lower ones, so the Miralyn one is $11 on Buyee right now. You can get it for 1,000 yen, $737. So it is a little bit cheaper. This one's a little bit more. Again, these are, that's Futase, that's not Miralyn. This one actually is more expensive. So again, this is an auction site, so people are kind of, some of these are overpriced even here as well. So you kind of do what you can with them. It's the kind of thing that if something shows up that's really cool, that's cheap, you can kind of jump on it and try to win that bid. And basically, again, from here, it will, they will basically buy the auction. The products will be received to them. There is an intermediary step that you can pay different amounts of money in terms of the verification services, because they'll receive the package and then look at the package and make sure that the thing that they got is the thing that you bought, which obviously is important. And then they'll ship it to you. Plus, there is a surcharge, which is 300 yen. There's a flat service fee with Buyee. I don't know what the prices are for some of the other ones, but Buyee's, whenever there's a transaction, there's a 300 yen, basically like a surcharge to go through that. So that's basically the gist of buying through there. Now, there's another step that we're going to look at here, because there are some other sites that, the Yahoo Japan Auction's okay, but you can see there's not a whole lot here. And it is harder to find things because you do have to type. It works specifically with TR because the tarot cards kind of have their own rarity symbol, but the other ones you're going to have to be searching in Japanese, which is a little harder. But we'll move on to Yuyute, which is the site that I've had the most success with. Again, these are, let me just open up a basically the default landing page to Yute. As you can see, it's fully in Japanese. This is basically a full Japanese retailer. I'm surprised the auto translation hasn't come up yet, but again, bunch of Duel Masters, Vanguard, the type of card games you'd expect to see at a Japanese. There's the translation. At a Japanese card game store. So again, you can search for singles. You can search for packs if you want decks, that type of thing. I figure for the most part you're probably going to want the singles, but you can search for, this is the newest set, newest booster sets, but they do have this, this type ahead search thing. Again, this is all going to be in Japanese, so if I type in English, the only one that comes up just happens to be the tarot card, because the tarot cards happen to be named in English. So what I've noticed, the best way to go about doing this is to find something that you like here. So we have, again, it just happens that the tarots tend to work. So looking at Iona, if you go to the Japanese side, you actually get her Japanese name in here. So you can just grab this, copy it. Now if I paste this in here, now we got all the different Ionas. This is automatically translating. So if this was in Japanese, this is what it would look like. But now we've got, the Elrig rares, promo cards, Elrig pieces, super rares. So you can see, like, if you're looking for a specific character, you got a lot of options. Here's the sleeping promo, that kind of thing. Other promos that they've had. I've actually never seen this promo before. This is a really cool one. This is, real life Iona. Spoiler alert. I guess probably belated. But anyway, you can search for characters. I have a couple of saved searches that, again, I just keep here. This is another one that I just look for TR, because again, the TR is its own promo, so they do actually show up in the name. So these are basically all of the tarot cards that have been printed, as far as my understanding, plus some extra ones, because like Tetra, there's a TR in there. But again, here's all the different tarot cards in different versions, and you can see the prices of these are pretty comparable. Some of them are much cheaper, like the Remember one, $9.80 compared to some of the other ones. This is, I forget who this, I think this is Mayu for 400 yen. I mean, that's like nothing. II 680. So the prices of these are much cheaper, especially like looking at some of these, like, Tama's 38.60, but if it was in stock, it would be 1480 yen, which is probably roughly like a little more than $10 type of thing. So much cheaper to buy it here. And then I also have, this is another, let me open it in Japanese here. So again, these are the names in Japanese. This is the Elrig Comes to You. This is basically all the sleeping promos like we had with the Ott and the Lies ones early on. I know that Card Jockey's got a full set of sleeping promos. They have sleeping promos like this in Japan for all of the old characters as well. So I got my hands on a couple of these that should be coming soon. But again, I mean, if you think about some of the prices in English of some of the other ones, like you can get a sleeping Ulith for 1280 yen. Midoriko's only 500 yen. I mean, the prices of these are really cheap compared to what you would find elsewhere. So the one thing I will say is, again, Buyee doesn't have a native integration with the site. So what you need to do is there's a browser extension. Oh, that's my bookmarks. In Chrome. That's called Add to Buyee. So what you'll need to do is you'll have to have that installed. It's basically the same way that you would add any other extension. You just type it in. I already have it, but basically you would add it to Chrome. It would install, refresh, blah, blah, blah. Once you have that plugin installed, basically all you need to do is, let's just grab this Hanari. So you'll go to the page where the product is. You find the plugin, you click Add to Buyee, and then you can see this little pop-up here, and then you'll add it to your Buyee cart. And basically, you're not working through the actual, e-commerce cart of the site itself. You're working through Buyee. So let me just grab that one. Do any of these in stock? Oh, Midoriko's in stock. That's cute. Oh, can't do that. See, I clicked it on the shopping cart, which is actually not what I'm supposed to do. So I need to delete it from the cart. Go to the Midoriko page itself. If you try to add it from, let me just show this one. If you try to add it from this page, it doesn't find anything. So this is just, some of the websites you can find through Add to Buyee. There's a lot here. I'm not super familiar with where to find things. I just found this. There's an article that Tetra wrote that it was actually all about All-Star and WIXOSS, which I'll put a link to the article below if you want to play All-Star format, because I love All-Star format. I mean, that's kind of what got me started into WIXOSS in the first place. And he recommended this site to buy cards, just singles in general, and it's worked out great so far. So again, you add this to the cart, and then all you do is click on the cart, and then we should see, yep, this is all the things that I've added. So these are the two products. You can do whatever you want to them. It'll proceed to the order page. So you look at that. So this is, I don't know why they would do it this way. These are the plans I was talking about. So if we look at what the different plans do, some of them there's an inspection plan, insured delivery, again, to make sure it goes through what all of these do, which I won't go into here, but you basically can make sure that the items that are in the package are the items that you bought. This is the general service fee for Buyee, which is, again, 300 yen just across the board, and then whatever your plan fees are. And then you'll put in your credit card information. I believe mine is already on the site, so I'm not going to go ahead and do this. And then you would just submit your order, and then basically the products would be shipped to Buyee. And then once they're there, you'll receive an email that basically says, hey, your products are here. Come pay for them, and we will ship them to you. So, as it turns out, I actually have an order that has arrived at Buyee. So another, this is some promos that I found at, what is this called, Yuyute? So we've got an Ulith, we've got a Yuzuki, some tarot cards, Carnival. So basically, once the order has come in, you'll see, I mean, you can see the tracking, receives the order's completed, so when the auction happens, basically the auction happens, if it's a buy it now auction, it'll happen automatically, and a lot of that stuff is automated. When it comes to something like this, where you're using the Add to Buyee plugin, basically somebody from their team has to go in and actually go ahead and do that order. So that's what this is. This is the order received by Buyee. Then when their person does the order will be completed, at which point, Yuyute will then ship it, and then the product will arrive at the warehouse. Basically, all of these cards are now there sitting for me to go ahead and basically take the final step, which is to actually go ahead and pay the shipping and have it sent over to me. So I think if I do details, we're going to see what happens. Is that just what we did? Yeah, so that was the item amount. Oh, this is just order details. There is it's package information. That's, yeah, okay. So you can see the package is at the Buyee warehouse. There's a package number. It came from Yuyute. It's got actually all of the items listed on here. You can see they've been inspected. The delivery's been insured, so everything is sitting there. At this point, then, if you do have multiple packages that are, if you bought one from, say you bought one from Yuyute, say you bought one from Yahoo Japan Auctions, you can actually combine the packaging, which is cool. So basically you can take, if you had 2 or 3 different packages or more, you can actually combine them into one box, so you're only paying shipping on one thing. So this, as you can see, there's a free storage period of 29 days. It was actually 30 days because it's been there for a little bit. So your package can sit there for a month if you want for free. There is a way to extend that to pay that kind of thing, but obviously, you think you want to go ahead and do that as soon as possible, just to avoid on extra fees and stuff like that. So then once you get to the shipping, you can see what the dimensions of the package are, what the weight is. There's a bunch of different shipping options as well. So the shipping, again, it's a little expensive just because this is something coming from Japan. But the fact that, the prices of the cards themselves, especially depending on the ones you're looking at, I mean, compared to some of the prices you could find for some of the sleeping promos and the tarot promos, it's sort of a small price to pay. So if you can combine all that stuff into one big order, it basically pays for itself, if not more, depending on what you're looking at. I mean, 2,200 yen, it seems like a big number, but if you think about, just at TCG Republic, if you just wanted the Tama, I mean, this is looking more like 5,000 yen just for this, plus the shipping, etc., etc. So if you shop smart, you can kind of figure out ways to reduce the price as much as possible. So again, you can ship you can choose whichever kind of shipping you want. I think the air delivery is what I used the last time. It just came from DHL, and it came really fast. I mean, it was here in maybe like 3 to 4 days, something like that. So it came really fast. The condition of the cars were great. So that's probably what I would recommend, just because it's reasonably priced, but it's also still efficient and good and that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I'm not going to go through the full process, just so you don't have to see my credit card information and all that stuff. But basically, it's relatively straightforward. A lot of the heavy lifting is actually done by Buyee, which is kind of why I don't mind the surcharges and all that stuff. And again, even all things considered, you may actually end up saving in the long run, just because you can actually find similar prices to what you would pay if you were actually in Japan. So you're paying for the shipping and that sort of thing, but compared to finding this stuff elsewhere, I think it's a good deal. Plus, again, some of these promos, especially, I keep talking about the tarot promos are incredible. I've also loved the sleeping promos as well, but there may be other promos that you like to find, and there's a bunch of different fun ones. Like, I don't know if you saw, where was the other order I had? Oh no, it was actually there's like a Halloween set of promos, so I got this like devilish Midoriko, which is super cute. Um, but there's a bunch of, I mean, there's some for each of them. There's a Tama, I love the Tama and the pumpkin as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different, oh, here's SPK. I think these are the special promo sets. So yeah, I would, if there's something you're looking for, look through what some of these options are. We've got Christmas Elrigs. Christmas is coming up, so if you've got, someone who likes Carnival and you want to give them a little Christmas gift, you got a little Santa outfit Carnival, something like that. I think this is Iona. Yeah. So yeah, take a look, see what's out there. There's a lot of cool stuff to kind of go through, and if something strikes your fancy, I would look into trying Buyee out and seeing how it works for you, and just going from there. So I've had a lot of luck with all of the sites that I've talked about today: Buyee, TCG Republic, UUTE. I've had really good luck with all of them, so I would highly recommend all of them. And yeah, just go ahead and see what it is, and feel free to bling out your level zeros, and we'll see you on the flip side.